All right, third graders. Today we are going to be telling time to the nearest 5 minutes. So we're going to be counting by fives and we're going to be using multiplication today as well. Okay? All right, let's take a look at our clock. So if we look here at the hand that is near the 9, okay, it's pointing to the white space of the clock. Now I know that's not the only white space there is, but look at all the white space. What do you think that white space would be called? That is correct. It is called the face of a clock. And it's really similar when you think of 3D or 2D shapes. The face is the flat part. Okay, now let's look at the other two arrows. First, let's look at the one that's pointed to the 12. What hand is that? You are correct. That is the minute hand. And let's look at the other hand that's pointed to the 5. What hand would you say that is? That is correct. That is the hour hand. Okay, and then let's look at what time it is. The minute hand is pointed to the 12, so I know that's o'clock. The hour hand is pointed exactly to the 5. So what time is it? Yes, it is 5 o'clock. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Let's go ahead and look at this clock. Okay, now again, we're counting everything by fives. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if I can grab my pen without messing anything up. I almost think I shouldn't. I'll just use my cursor and I think you can see it. Okay, if we look, actually no, let me just do the pen. Hopefully nothing messes up. So if we look at the hour hand, okay, it's between the 8 and the 9, so it's not 9 o'clock yet. Remember, the clock goes clockwise, so it goes from the 12 to the 1 to the 2 to the 3 and so on. So it's always going to hit the number first. So it's going to hit the 8 first before it hits the 9. Okay? So it is definitely 8 something. So now we just have to figure out the minutes. Okay, let's start at the 12 and let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's 8:20. Another way to do it is if you are at the 4 for the minute hand, what is 4 times 5? What is 4 times 5? That is correct. It is 20. So that's another way that you can figure out the minutes. Okay, that's a little hint for you. Okay, moving on to this one. So it tells us over here on the right-hand side in the white space that we need to do the hours first and the minutes, which we should already know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a text box for us. Okay, now the hour hand is almost on the 7, but not quite on the 7. So I know it's going to be 6 something. Okay, the minute hand is on the 10. Now remember our little hint. We need to do 10 times 5. I know 10 times 5 is 50. So it is 650. Now if you want to count by 5 starting at the 12, you can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do it with me. So starting at the 12, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Oh, and I was about to go further, but no, 50 is where I need to stop. Okay, so it is 6:50. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next clock. We want to do the hour and the minutes, the hour first, and then the minutes, just like we've been doing. Okay, so let's look at the hour hand. It is basically on the 5 because it was basically 5 minutes ago, 5 o'clock. So I know it's 5 something. Okay, the minute hand is on the 1. Now let's use our little cheat sheet, okay, or the little hint that I gave you. What is 1 times 5? Oh, it's 5. Now I have to put 0, 5 because I always have to have 2 digits. You cannot put 5 and then your colons and then the number 5. It does not work. Okay, so if you don't have anything in one of the spots, you need to have a 0. Okay, so it is 5:05 based on that clock. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so it's giving us the trick, which we already talked about. So we're going to continue doing it. So let's look at the hour hand. The hour hand is between the 1 and the 2. Now, which one is it actually? Is it 1 o'clock or is it 2 o'clock? That's right, it is 1 o'clock. It's not yet 2. Otherwise, it would be between the 2 and the 3. So it's 1 something. I know that the minute hand is pointing to the 7, and 7 times 5 is 35. So it is 1:35. That is correct. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause this one while you try to figure it out on your own. Okay, I'm looking at the hour hand. The hour hand is just below the 2, so I know it is 2 something. The minute hand is on the 3. Now I know my little trick is to do 3 times 5. What is 3 times 5? That is correct. It is 15. So it is 2:15. If you don't want to multiply, remember you can always start at the 12 and count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, make my text box. Let's look at the hour hand first. Let's remember our trick. Okay, it's between the 4 and the 5. Which one is it actually? It's 4. Yep, it's not quite 5 o'clock yet. Otherwise, it would be between the 5 and the 6. Okay, let's look at the minute hand. It's on the 8. I know 8 times 5 is 40. So it is 440. Again, if you want to start at the 12 and count by 5s all the way around to the 8, you would get the same answer. Okay, go ahead and pause here and go ahead and do this one. I'm going to go ahead and make a text box. Okay, so the hour hand is between the 3 and the 4, so it is 3 o'clock, not yet 4 o'clock. And the minute hand is on the 6. I know every single time it's on the 6, it's actually half past. Okay, and I know that 6 times 5 is 30, so it is 3:30. All right, last but not least, we have a little game to play. And I know it's super, super, super small, but I'm going to be doing it with you, so you will be perfectly fine. And I have to squint as well. All right, I'm just going to grab one of them. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. I need to go back and get the mouse. Okay, there we go. All right, so I can see kind of, and you should be able to see kind of, that the hour hand is between the 4 and the 5. So I know it's 4 something. Now if I look over here, the only one that said 4 is 4:35. If I look back, it is on the 7. 7 times 5 is 35. So I'm going to bring that over. Is it a match? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to grab the next one. All right, the hour hand looks to be between the 12 and the 1. It's almost 1 o'clock. I know it's 12 something. I'm going to look over here at my fireballs. It looks like it probably has to be 12:55, but let's look at the minute hand. It is on the 11. 11 times 5 is 55. So yes, that's a match. Good. We're on a roll. Okay, the next one. The hour hand is between the 1 and the 2, so it's 1 something. I'm looking at my fireballs, and the only one I have available is 1:30. The minute hand is on the 6, so I know 6 times 5 is 30, so that is a match. Let's look at the next one. The hour hand is between the 10 and the 11, so I know it's 10 something. I'm looking at my fireballs. It's got to be 10:20, but let's look at the minute hand. It is on the 4. 4 times 5 is 20, so that does work. Next one, the hour hand is between the 11 and the 12, so I know it's 11 something. The minute hand is on the 8. 8 times 5 is 40, so it's 11:40. This next one, the hour hand is between the 6 and the 7. So I would say that it's 6, but we don't have that option. So I feel like this one probably was a typo. The minute hand is on the 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So this is the only option we have, even though I don't think that's right. I think it's actually supposed to be 645, but we will just move on. I didn't create this. Okay, the hour hand is exactly on the 5. And the minute hand is on the 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So I know it's going to be 505. And last but not least, we just want to make sure, but the hour hand is a little bit under the 3. The minute hand is on the 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So I know it is 310. Voila. And off they go. All right, now you need to go back to your template and do your assignment for today.